Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How you all doing? That's not a good start, is it? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to Stretford Post, and welcome to the live watch along between Paraguay and Australia, guys. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing fine. Thank you, guys, for joining me this morning. Of course, guys. Hope everyone's blessed. Should be an interesting game, of course. Should be an interesting game. Looking forward to it. I'm going to get into all the nitty-gritties and stuff like that, guys, real quickly, of course, guys. Let me just edit my thing firstly, because you know what? There's a mistake there. So let me just edit this real quick. If I can get this up. There we go. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you guys for joining me. It's 5 o'clock in the morning where I am, so forgive me. There we go. So there we go. Okay. So we are live today for the live watch along between Paraguay and Australia, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me get into the lineups and the stipulations around this group, and obviously what's happened over the night where I am, of course, guys. So let me get straight into that right now, of course, guys. Firstly, let's start off with the lineups for Australia and Paraguay, of course, guys. These are the two lineups. Real quickly, let me just skim and scan through this. So basically, in regards to Paraguay, you've got Gil in goal. He plays for San Lorenzo. A lot of these players play around the world, of course, with Paraguay. We've got Canceras, who plays for Dynamo. Guys, Dynamo are a team that play in Russia, of course. So this is what I'm talking about. You'll get a lot of players who play for both these teams who play around the world. Of course, we've got Velasquez in defense alongside, he plays for Cerro Porteño. Cerro Porteño, guys, are a team that play in Paraguay. So yeah, then you're going to get a lot of players that play at home as well, guys. So I'm gonna give you my watch outs. You've got Gustavo Gomez, who plays for Palmeiras, and then you've got Alderete, who plays for Sunderland. So you go from Palmeiras to Sunderland. That's exactly what we're talking about, guys. So Omar Alderete plays for Sunderland in the Premier League, who've had a good season. We've got Sandro Maidana, who is the left wing back. They're playing like a 5-4-1 sort of formation. We got Gomez on the right, who plays for Brighton in the Premier League. We got Galaza, one of the star players for me over this tournament. In my opinion, he's done excellently for Paraguay so far. We got Cubas, who plays for Vancouver in Canada. He is a 30-year-old centre midfielder. And we've got Enciso, who plays for Strasbourg in France. He's a left midfielder, 22-year-old. Another guy to watch out for is Enciso. Julio Enciso, remember the name. You're gonna see a lot from him. And we got obviously Avalos, who plays for Independiente. There's many Independientes. I believe it's the Independiente in Argentina. Is it the Independiente in Argentina? Is it? It is the Independiente in Argentina. Of course, there is a couple of Independientes because they're all independent in those countries. Of course they are. Right. Look, guys. Now we're gonna go on to Australia, mate. It's beach going down the beach in Perth, mate. It's Patrick Beach. Plays at Melbourne FC in Australia. They're playing a 3-4-2-1. They've got the inspiration from Ruben Amorim. They've got Socati, guys, who plays for Parma in Italy, of course. We got Spalter, Harry Spalter, who plays for Leicester City, who Leicester just got relegated in the Championship. Now they're in League One. Harrington, Lucas Harrington plays for Colorado. We've got at the right, we've got By-H, who plays for Melbourne FC in Australia. We got O'Neill, who plays for NYSC in America. We got Irvine, who is the defensive midfielder, plays in Pauli in Germany. We've got Jordan Boss, who plays for Feyenoord in Holland. We got Metcalfe, who plays for St. Pauli in Germany, and we got Valparto, who plays for Sassuolo in Italy. And up front, we got Erekunda, guys, who plays for Watford in England, of course, guys. That is the lineups for you, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome, everyone, to the stream. I hope everyone is having a blessed morning so far, or evening or night, wherever you're in the world. I don't know what... I'm losing track of time these days. I really am losing track of time. In regards to the bench, guys, we've got Gaston Oliveira. Gaston Oliveira plays for Olimpa, guys. Then we've got for Roberto Fernandez, the other goalkeeper, the third-choice goalkeeper, plays for Cerro Porteño in Paraguay. We've got Fabian Babuena, who plays for Grêmio in Brazil. Then we've got Jose Canale, who plays for Lanús, guys. Lanús, I think, are in Argentina. We got Junior Alonso, who plays for Atletico MG. They're in Brazil, I believe. And we got Brian Ojeda, who is basically a midfielder who plays for Orlando City, of course, in America. We've got Damian Bob Badilla, who plays for Sao Paulo in Brazil. We've got Maurizio there. Maurizio, who plays for Palmeiras as well in Brazil. We've got Alex Arce. Alex Arce is a player that I like, really. There's another Independiente. There you go. The Independiente Rivadavia. Independiente Rivadavia. They play in Argentina as well. So they're both independent. Absolutely. And then we've got, where are we now? Gustavo Caballero, of course, who plays at Portsmouth in England. There you go, as you do. You go, no, I mean, all around the world, that's what we're talking about. That's what football's all about. That's the beauty of football. Red Bull Bragantino, so many. Look, one thing, Idra Peter, Red Bull Bragantino. One thing about the Red Bull group, they have got around, isn't it, the Red Bull group? They are, I mean, you've got to give them credit. My goodness me, they have built a lot of football teams, haven't they? Palmeiras in Brazil is Ramon Sosa, who is a left-winger attacking player, of course. And Miguel Amorim, as we know, their main player, did something very sinister the last game. He used to play for Newcastle, remember? He plays at Atlanta and United now. Very experienced player, but obviously covered his mouth. It was controversial, but he covered his mouth. So he's suspended today. You don't cover your mouth if you're not got enough. He's not basically saying, "Oh, I really like your hair today," is he? I really like your hair. You know, he's not going to say that, is he? He's always going to say something very sinister, which is, I agree with the rule that you can't put your hand over your mouth to speak because you don't. You know, what do you need to hide? At the end of the day, exactly. You know, there you go. So we got, in regards to Australia, mate, we got Levante, Matthew Ryan, who plays for Levante in Spain. The goalkeeper, the third choice goalkeeper, is Paul Izzo. Guys, Paul Izzo plays for Randers. Guys, there we are. And then we go on to Cameron Burgess. Cameron Burgess, who plays for Swansea City in England. Of course, Jason Garcia. It's amazing that, you know, so many players play in England. I mean, when you look at this World Cup, I mean, do England have the most representation? I don't know, but there is a lot, isn't it? You got Jason Garcia, who plays for Albirex Niigata. Albirex Niigata, a team that play in Japan. There you go, guys. Albirex Niigata is Jason Garcia, guys. Then we go on to Milos Degenik. Milos Degenik, who plays for Nicosia in Greece. Then we've got Agent Hrustic. Agent Hrustic plays for Hercules in Spain, I believe. There you go, Agent Hrustic. Then we got Cameron Devlin. Cameron Devlin is a central midfielder that plays for Hearts in Scotland. Great season for Hearts, by the way. Came as a whisker within winning the Scottish League for the first team not to, other than Rangers and Celtic, not to win the league, in 40 years. The last guy to do it, of course, Alex Ferguson. They didn't do it, obviously, courtesy of a penalty and stuff like that. That shouldn't have been. Kay Terwin, who plays for New York FC, is a defensive midfielder. Then we go on to Paul Ocon Egstler. He plays for Sydney FC in Australia. Then we got Awa Maybell. Awa Maybell is a place for Castellón in Spain, guys. And then we have Mohamed Toure plays for Norwich City. There you go, Norwich City. Mohamed Toure in the Championship. Then we got Nishan Villapele, guys, who plays for Melbourne Victory, guys. He is a right winger. And then we got Tete Yenge, finally, who plays for Makeda Zveda, and he is a striker, guys. And let me just have a look at all the score lines here, guys. I want to look at firstly the table in this group. So this is the group, basically. Here we go. So Australia, USA have qualified. We'll be keeping an eye on USA against Turkey, of course. Australia and Paraguay, it's a head-to-head. Turkey are out. They can't go through, basically, unless they win 10-0 or something like that. I probably can't go through anyway. But, yes, Australia against Paraguay. Winner takes all. Look, a draw may be enough. It may be enough. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. A draw may be enough, but definitely, if you want to solidify your position, one of these teams has got to win, because I personally believe that 3 points is not going to be enough. 4 points is touch and go at the moment. It's touch and go. And obviously, there's 8 teams that go through out of 12. So the 4 points is like basically the bare minimum. And when you're looking at their goal difference, it's not very impressive, is it? You've got goal difference of 0 and goal difference of -2. So obviously, that's going to be difficult for either of those teams to qualify. Definitely. So one of them, I believe this is why I did this game, because I knew that this game had stipulations in it. Now, in regards to the results today, some surprises. Carousel, lost to Ivory Coast by 2-0. Ecuador defeated, shock defeat for Ecuador, for Germany. Ecuador won by 2-1. Germany have been performing progressively in this tournament, but they were defeated by 2-1 in that game. In regards to Japan, Japan drew 1-1 with Sweden, guys. A fantastic goal from Malanga. And then Tunisia lost 3-1. Tunisia have been an absolute disappointment in this tournament, absolutely useless, probably one of the worst teams in the tournament. They lost 3-1 to Holland, guys. Yeah, that's it, guys. So let me just get through the tables, right? So basically, so we go with today. So today, obviously, is the USA, Australia, Paraguay, and Turkey, which is Paraguay and USA have qualified. Australia and Paraguay still have a chance. This group here is finished. So Germany finished top of that Group E. Ivory Coast finished second. Ecuador finished on 4 points. So I'm going to get into that in a minute. And then in regards to Group F, Holland, of course, finished on top. Japan second. Sweden on 4 points. Sweden could quite possibly qualify. And then we get into Group G, which is still to play. So basically, only Group F and Group E have finished, basically. So the other groups do have to play one more game, of course, guys. So when I'm looking, the most important thing is this. So the third place team. So this is how the third place teams look at the moment. So it does look like Sweden, Ecuador, Bosnia look like they could be going to the next round. However, this can change. Scotland are on the skin of their teeth. The skin of their teeth are holding on in this at the moment. They are 8th position, 1 more point from any one of those teams. Maybe a win for any one of those teams below them. That is it for them. Sayonara, absolutely. They are going home. You can have all the noises. You can drink in a bar and pretend you are the most popular fan base in the world, because you know what? People love a loser. Scotland are going out of the World Cup. You know what I mean? And that is what it is at the end of the day. Just a waste of bloody space. Bring Italy back in there. Bring Ukraine. Bring Serbia. Bring Hungary. They would have done a better job than that. Absolute embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment, guys. Absolutely. Cape Verde are out, unfortunately. They got almost, but they could get a draw, and they could quite... No, well, they draw Cape Verde. All they need is a draw. They could be in that top 8. But obviously, it depends on Belgium, DR Congo, and Senegal. So there you go, guys. That is basically the stipulation that we're looking at the moment, guys, in regards to the two groups and stuff like that. I hope everyone is back on. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well, of course, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today for this game. It should be a good game. Big up Hassan. What's going on, my friend? Walaikum salam, my friend. Hope you're just here to say hi. Going to watch the Turks one final time this tournament. Take care. Big up Aki. Take care, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Turkey. It's a nothing game, though, isn't it, for me? That's why, obviously, Turkey are out. USA are through. That's why, obviously, But hopefully, Turkey go off with a bang, and hopefully they win the game. I hope so. Big up the Turks and big up Turkey, of course, all day long. Look, they've been very disappointing for me, Turkey, along with Tunisia. I looked at Turkey as one of the dark horses before the tournament when I was thinking about Arda Güler and Kenan Yildiz and players of that ilk. I looked at them as one of the teams to watch out for in this tournament, and they've really disappointed me, to be honest with you. They let me down. They really did. And absolutely. Big up, Greg. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, Turkey let me down. But this game here, Australia against Paraguay, is the game. Obviously, both of these teams can qualify theoretically. Whoever wins qualifies. Basically, that's what we're going for at the moment. Whoever wins this game will go through. If it's a draw, then it depends on other results and stuff like that. But as I said, the 4 points is the absolute minimum to qualify as one of the best third-place teams. The absolute minimum. And if you win, you're through. But 5 points obviously would be fantastic. But a draw, then you're going to have to rely on Belgium and Cape Verde and DR Congo and on all those teams to worry about, in regards to that. So really and truly, what one of these teams have to do is win. What is my prediction for this game? I'm going for a Paraguay win today. I'm going for a 2-1 win to Paraguay. Sorry, my Australia brothers. I'm going for a 2-1 win today for Paraguay. That's what I'm going for, guys. Struth, mate. Back down to Perth, mate. That's what's going to happen. Absolutely. They're going home for me, Australia, mate. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? At least they had a fun time in the United States. Yeah, that's what it's all about. One thing I would say, Gregory, everyone loves a loser. That's why no one likes England. No one likes France. No one wants us. No, because we're successful. We win. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, these people, like, you know, oh, look, all I saw, right, was a bunch of Scots in a bar, in a pub, screaming their lungs off in skirts. You guys, man. Honest to God. Did you know that Scotland, without the UK, Scotland would be worse than bloody Carousel or something like that? Do you know what I mean? The way they help the Scottish national team and etc. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Gregory wants England to win because Gregory's a legend, of course. Look, England are not going to win the World Cup. I know that. But you know, at the end of the day, right? It's about competing. You know, it's about competing. You know, and getting to the next round, and not just going there to make up the numbers. You know, getting to the quarterfinals or semi-finals, which I think England will do. Obviously, I do think I'm looking at this tournament. This is one of the few tournaments that I'm watching, right? That I feel I don't know who's going to win it. Honestly, I do edge towards Spain, but there is France as well. I think France look very good. In my opinion, there is a couple of teams. I think there will be a couple of shocks in there who will be in the semi-final and that. But I don't think we can really tell until the quarterfinal. I think the last 32 and the last 16 is going to be a little bit expected, because at the end of the day, you're going to get Argentina against bloody, you know, Sweden or something like that, and we know that they're going to win Argentina. So yeah, we're underway, guys. By the way, the game's kicked off. Guys, I've got the other game on. I've got to put the other game on, the other game on as well. Of course, we're looking at, let me just see. We're looking at, That's why I just keep the USA Turkey one on. But big up everyone in the stream. I hope everyone is doing well. And let me just see which one is on. Let me get that game on. Why did they put the USA game on? The USA game is a nothing game, mate. It's a nothing game. Let me have a look. Home. Where is this one? There we go. That one will do. Got it now. Got it all set up. Yeah, that one's the one that is competitive. That's what I'm going for. Gregory, the other three favourites beside England have the position. France, Portugal. All of them have a chance. All of them have a chance. It depends on, you know, the World Cup. It depends on luck or corruption. That's why I'm a little bit skeptical with obviously some of the Argentinian team and that. All I want, right, is a fair game. That's all I care about. And if a team wins it fairly, I'm going to put my hands on and say, well done, congratulations, well deserved. You know what I mean? But I am seeing, like in the last World Cup, I saw a lot of it. I saw a lot of favoritism, a lot of decisions going against certain teams and stuff like that. Argentina getting the rough of the green and stuff like that, you know. I just want a fair game. I just want a game that, you know, is played, professionally and fairly, and no favoritism and stuff like that, and sinister things going on and everything like that. I hope not. You know what I mean? I hope not, guys. I really do. All right, we're here, guys. They're going to keep you up to date with all the scores, of course, guys, as well. So let me just put these up. At the moment, still 0-0 in both games. USA have scored. USA are 1-0 up already against Turkey. It's Trusty with the goal. Trusty has scored for USA. You could trust him to do the job. Absolutely. Trusty has scored for the USA. They are 1-0 already. Socceroos just need a point to qualify. Do they? I'm not sure. I think it depends on the other teams, Kenny. There's still a lot of teams to play. 4 points may be enough. But if Belgium, Carousel, or someone like that win, then it's going to get difficult. What if Carousel get a point? There's only 8 points that qualify at the moment. Only 8. And remember, only 2 teams. So when we look at the third place, so basically when you look at the third place, so we're Australia. So Australia, not even in there at the moment. Not even in there. Are they in there? They're not even in the top 8. They're not even in the top 8. So it could be down to, obviously, Senegal, DR Congo, Belgium, and Carousel, and Algeria as well. They've still got a chance. So it's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed at the moment. But one thing is guaranteed is that if they win, if Paraguay win or Australia win, then they're through second place. That's it, 6 points, game over. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. So if one of them win, then definitely. Let me just turn this off. This bloody thing. Let me just see if I can see if that other game is on. Of course. Big up everyone in the stream, guys. Big up everyone supporting the stream. Good morning to everyone, of course. Still Paraguay nil, guys. Absolutely. Yeah, USA's group was absolutely pathetic, Gregory. That's why I said it's not going. We're not going to see until the last 16, last 8. We're not going to see proper football and a realistic reflection of what really is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Turkey are out. I don't think Turkey really care. To be honest with you, they probably just want to go home. I would have thought, but yeah, USA have done very well. They would do their home team. I would like the home teams to stay as long as possible because obviously it adds to the vibe. Obviously, as soon as USA get knocked out, which they will, everyone's going to forget about it. You know, everyone's going to forget about football again. You know what I mean? And stuff. And that's what happens, isn't it, at the end of the day? But yeah, best of luck. Turkey can't catch a break. Turkey have been the most disappointing, Kenny, in this tournament. I'm so disappointed with Turkey. You know, one thing, I'm always disappointed in Turkey. Every time they go to these World Cups, ever since 2002, they haven't really done anything in these tournaments, and they do disappoint me. You know, and because they've got quality all over the pitch, and they never do well. You know, if you look at Turkey's lineup, you feel, wow, what a lineup. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. If you look at it, you know, but you Arda Güler, Keelan Yildiz, and these type of players, and all their players play in Europe, of course. Let's not forget they play all around Europe, their experience and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And they just let us down all the time, don't they? And what can we say about it other than that? You know what I mean? Big up everyone in the stream, still 0-0, Paraguay 0, Australia 0. This is the one we're watching at the moment, of course, guys. Let's not forget some big games today. Obviously, Germany losing today. A shock defeat for Germany today, guys. It was a shock defeat for Germany. They losing today was a big one, to be honest with you. Guys, was a big defeat, of course. But everyone in the stream, really appreciate you. Thank you, guys. I'm just trying to set up my thing because this thing is ridiculous. Let me see this. Yeah, big up everyone in the stream. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today, guys. I appreciate it. Really do. Big up everyone. Look, now, you know, Monday is when we're getting into the last 32. It's when we get into knockout competition. That's what I care about, you know, because I mean, it's been a great ride for some of these teams. But, you know, we're going to start getting into the real football now, aren't we? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, in regards to the knockout stages. And that's when you separate the wood from the trees, isn't it? And stuff like that, you know? So, yeah, it should. Well, what I would say is that best of luck to everyone, and may the best team win at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. And that's what I would say. Big sunshine in this game between Australia and Paraguay. Lots of sunshine on the pitch. First time I've seen that, really, to be honest with you. Still 0-0. Australia here on the attack. So that's going to be a corner to Australia. It's a corner to Australia. Conceded the corner there. Paraguay. There we go. Yeah, this game is in San Francisco Bay Arena. Must be lovely. And there you go. Corner to Australia, guys. Australia are a difficult team, obviously, to negotiate with and stuff like that. They are a difficult team to negotiate. The corner's going to be kind of floated in, guys. The corner's going to be floated in. Corner comes in. A long corner. Really long one. My goodness me. Not the best corner you'll ever see. That's more like rugby. I think they forgot what sport they're in. That's rugby. Let me just straighten my TV, guys. 1 second. That would do the trick. Throw into Paraguay on the near side, guys. Throw into Paraguay. Still 1-0 to USA against Turkey. Those are the scores. There you go. Big up everyone in the stream, though, but guys, really appreciate everyone in the stream, of course. Big up everyone. Hope everyone is well. Don't forget to spread the stream, guys. Retweet the stream. If you guys could do that for me, it'd be absolutely fantastic. We are live later on as well. We got Norway against France, and we got obviously Senegal against Iraq. Norway against France looks very interesting indeed. I'm looking forward to that one, definitely. Senegal, thing is, Senegal could still qualify So this is what I'm looking at. Senegal, of course, can still qualify. Iraq are out, but Senegal can still qualify. So it'd be interesting to see that, of course. Norway and France will be going through, obviously. But that is obviously to decide who goes top of the group. Who goes top of the group? Is it going to be Norway? Is it going to be France? And obviously that has a detrimental effect on who plays who in the next round in the last 32. So I will be doing a watch along for that one later on. 1-1. Turkey have equalized. 1-1. Turkey won. USA won, guys. Right now, Turkey have equalized courtesy of Arda Güler. That's what I told her. Arda Güler, one of the best players in the world at the moment, plays for Real Madrid. You know, Arda Güler's equalized. That's more like it from Turkey. Too little, too late, of course, guys, as we know. Turkey are going home back to Istanbul. They're gone. And but they've equalized against USA. Obviously, at the moment, nobody can come top part. USA going to top the group. That's absolutely certain. I feel their goal difference and stuff. But yeah, Turkey, I mean, at least they can leave with a little bit of pride. They'll probably lose today, but there you go. But Australia are playing very well here against Paraguay. Australia on the right-hand side. They're cutting inside. He cuts inside. Here we go. Good little bit of play. Cleared away by Paraguay. Cleared away. Was a little bit disappointed with Paraguay in the last game against Turkey. I would say, because one thing I don't like is, you know, the one thing I don't like, you know, is basically teams that you know do these sort of things and stuff like that. Players that do these sort of things, I don't like that sort of thing, because you're obviously saying something that is really sinister, and I don't like that sort of thing. Some of these teams, they do play on emotions and they do play on certain things and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And I would say they should be banned, to be honest with you. Honestly, God, because I remember the incident with Zidane in 2006 when it happened with Materazzi, and you know, I felt it was, you know, it was out of order, because we all know what they're saying. You don't need a rocket science to understand what someone is saying, guys. Just watching back the USA goal, it's a good goal, nice little bit of play, nice little finish there by Trusty. It was a good finish there. It was a good finish. A throw-in for Paraguay. Throw-in for Paraguay here. Long throw-in. Australia look decent. Obviously, one thing I would say to Australia is that they, you know, to keep their heads. Obviously, Paraguay, one of those teams, are going to try and disrupt them and sort of manipulate them into doing something a little bit, you know, naughty and stuff like that. I would say so. You've got to be careful. You know, at the end of the day, Paraguay kicking off. Here we go. You know, there we go. Trying to slow the game down. Look, guys, 1 point may be enough. It may be enough. But if I was Paraguay or Australia, I'd be going, look, we have to win this game. This game has to be won, because 4 points is, it's difficult. There's so, like, a lot of teams are going to have 4 points. This is the thing, you know. So 1 or 2 of them would be missing out. So you have to obviously make sure you win your games. I think 5 points is the minimum. Obviously, 4 and 5 points, but 5 points will get you through, and 6 points would obviously get you through. Of course, you should come second in a group if you've got 6 points. One of these teams win, they get 6 points. That's for certain, of course. And one of these teams will go through if they win. You know, so yeah, you have to look after yourself. I don't think 3 points is going to go through. Scotland will be out on 3 points. Of course, Scotland are 8th at the moment in the top 3, the best third place position. They're hanging on by the skin of their teeth at the moment, but they're going to be out definitely in the next game of the groups. Definitely. 3 points is never enough to qualify. I've said that at the beginning. 3 points will never be enough to qualify. Australia can't qualify officially. That's not true. If they draw, they can't. That's not official. They have to rely on other teams if they are to qualify. That's the fact, right? That's not true. False, fake news. They can't draw and go through. They may do, but they got to rely on the likes of Cape Verde and Belgium and Senegal, DR Congo, all these teams that need to play yet before you could say that anyone draws, they go through. It depends. It depends on obviously the goals, the goal difference, the stipulation and stuff like that. That's what it depends on. Just that, you know, You know, so because at this moment in time, the way we're looking at it, they're not even in the top 8, right? So there you go. If they're not in the top 8, they're below Scotland. So they got 3 points, but they're not in the top 8. Scotland are in the top 8 with 3 points. So that basically means that their goal difference and stuff is not on the level of where it should be. So if their goal difference is not on the level, then if they come in, if they get 4 points, they're going to be below, isn't it? They're going to be below. If they draw this game, for example, they're going to be below, isn't it? So yeah, they have to obviously win to go through. That's basically what it is. But if Paraguay win, they go through too. But I'm talking about Paraguay and Australia. I don't think a draw is enough. It's very dodgy. Absolutely. Yeah. So spreading the truth always a Stretford Post. No rumors, of course. Guys. So when we look at, let me just have a look at just to keep up to date with actual table. So as we stand, it is obviously Paraguay, right? Yeah. Australia. Basically, if they lose, yeah. So Australia, basically, if they draw, they can go through. Actually, they go second in the group. I thought they're going to go third. Yeah, they'll be second. They'll go through. He's right. They go second. They go through. Bloody hell! On 4 points. That's unfair for some teams, isn't it? But if Paraguay win, Australia go third, which means they go out. Basically, because they have 3 points, which is not enough. Which I'm saying. So a draw. I think. Yeah, so they'll go through. Yeah, he's right. Kenny's right. They will go through on second place if they draw. So Australia just need a draw. So Paraguay, if Paraguay win, it would turn it completely, flip it on its head. Absolutely. Yeah, if someone didn't be say something, about his mother, something racist, and I know exactly what he said, Gregory. If I said it on here, my channel will get banned. It was very bad. Yeah, I know someone close to the family, so obviously, I know what he said, and obviously my connection to Italy, I know exactly. So yes, just to clarify, Australia draw, they will go through on second place. Paraguay being third place, sweating on the other results. If Paraguay win, they will go up, right, into the next round. If Australia win, they go to 6 points, they'll go through. But if Paraguay win, Australia will go down to third place on 3 points, and that means they'll be out, basically. So basically, as we're looking now, Paraguay have the more incentive to win, basically, because the 4 points is not going to be, they're not going to go into the second place if they get a draw. Australia, of course, are looking for a draw. You know what I mean? But, the biggest problem for me is this is why, because a lot of these teams are going to get knocked out. Third place should never be rewarded, in my opinion. Third place should never be rewarded. I don't think you should go through in third place. That's just my opinion, guys. What they should have done, which would have been a little bit better, in my opinion, is that what they should have done, the teams that came third place, they should have basically just done a playoff. So basically done a playoff between the third place teams. And the team that win that playoff go through to the next round. Maybe that would have been more competitive. Maybe it would have been more better because, I don't know, they do like a loser, don't they? At the end of the day, and coming third, I don't think you should be rewarded for that. I don't. I think that's just stupid. At the end of the day, Sweden have been one of the most diabolical teams in this tournament, right? Sweden, right? And they're going to go through third place. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. You know what I mean? And there you go. It is crazy, but it is what it is. We have what we have, and I believe the first and second place should be rewarded. That's how it should be, and it should be last 16 next, not last 32. I mean, there you go. Because obviously, when you get to the last 32, you're going to get Sweden against Argentina. Argentina are going to win that game. You're going to get USA against someone else, Carousel, Cape Verde. It's going to be something like that, and it's just going to be a rerun of what the group stage was, and. I just feel but whatever. You never know. Obviously, typical England probably get Portugal next, something like that. That's England always get the tough game, Absolutely. The third place would have been more competitive, Gregory. It would have been the first and second place would have been more competitive. Third place is basically it's just creating more mediocrity, in my opinion. Maybe what it used to be, Greg, the best third place team, one of them used to go through, not all of them. So it used to be the best first place team. So the best third place team go through. That's how it used to be. Now it's basically everyone, top 8 out of 12. I mean, come on, you have to be absolutely useless. So basically, like, you know, everyone has a chance, you know. Everyone has a chance, and that's what it is. But they're going to get knocked out anyway, so it's just a waste of time. But, you know, obviously we got Canada against South Africa on the first quarterfinal. Guys, that is on Sunday, I believe. Sunday. The first quarterfinals on Sunday. The first last 32. I don't know why I say quarterfinal, but the last 32, the first game, last 32 is on Sunday, and that's Canada and South Africa. And I feel that Canada will win that one. Yeah, I think Canada will win that one. Canada will win that one. You know, Canada win that one definitely. You know, I ain't impressed. South Africa did very well to get through, but I see weaknesses in their side, and I think Canada, with the home advantage, will probably do it. I actually hope that South Africa win, but you know, I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, it is nice though that, having said that, on the flip side, that Canada stay in the tournament. But one thing I don't understand, I want you guys to explain it to me, right? Why are USA not leaving the USA, right? But Canada have to leave the USA, leave Canada. Canada have to leave Canada to play in the next round. USA are playing all their games in USA, right? But Canada and Mexico are not. What kind of stuff is that? Tell me, ask me that question. You know, so basically, why should Mexico and Canada have to move away from Canada to play their next games and Mexico, but USA won't? Strange, isn't it? Oh, well, hopefully not something sinister's not going on. Absolutely. We know what goes on. Yeah, but there you go. Mexico are going to be tough to beat because they know that Mexico, if it was Mexico against the USA in Mexico, Mexico are winning that game. As simple as that. You know what I mean? They know that. Do you know what I mean? And as it stands, it could be, you know, yeah, but they should stay in Canada. They should stay in Canada. They should stay in those two cities, mate. And Mexico should stay in Mexico. That's how it is. Home nation, isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah, it's not fair. Home nation should be in home nation. Two cities, 5 cities, 10 cities. It doesn't matter. Home nation should mean home nation. You're playing at home. That's it. It's just like, you know, I think it's a little bit unfair, you know. Like, I believe that the final should be hosted in a culturally football city, which is obviously Mexico City. You know? When did they win in Mexico City? They played in America all their games. I'm talking about the next round anyway. I'm talking about the last 32. They're not leaving America, which is a little bit funny. I don't know. It's hard to explain to Americans about football. Sorry, Greg. But home nation should be home nation. USA playing the USA, Canada playing Canada, Mexico playing Mexico. It should be like that. It doesn't matter. There's 4, 5 stadiums in Mexico. It should be in Mexico. Simple as that. All right, that's how it should be. USA and USA, Canada and Canada. I'm sure all the people in Canada would love Canada to play in Canada, right? It's USA. So basically, what you're saying, right? England are the host nations of a tournament, right? Right, but they have to play in Scotland. You know what I mean? And Wales. It should be host nation, host. What does the host mean? You host. You know what I mean? You're the host. You're the team. You know, that's what I would say. So, but if you're going to do that, then in the last 32, in the last quarterfinal, last 16, USA should play in Mexico, Canada should play in USA, and then do that. You should do it like that. That's what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? Kenny, I can't wait to scrap this bloody hydration break. It's ruining the World Cup, to be honest with you. It's ruining the World Cup. Honestly, I'll be honest, Ken. It's ruining the World Cup. I think this hydration break is a farce, mate. Honest to God. Honestly, it's just a farce. It's ridiculous. You know, it shouldn't be going on. I mean, have water, you know. That makes no sense, Gregory. They play every year. Mexico and the USA are each other's biggest rivals. They are. So why don't they play in each other's countries? There you go. I guarantee you, if it's Mexico against USA in this tournament, it'd be in USA. They wouldn't put it in Mexico because Mexico would win, Gregory. Because Mexico in Mexico are different animal. Let me tell you that right now. I know it from a football fan a long time. I know Greg probably hasn't watched football for more than 10 years. So I would say that since 1986, if you know about Mexico in the Azteca Stadium, Mexico are a different animal. And if USA had to go to the Azteca in Mexico City, if they had to do that, if they had to go there, USA would lose. They know that. They would lose. However, if Mexico went to the USA, it's completely flipped the other side. Do you know what I mean? Then USA would win. It's like that, isn't it? So that's why they're not putting USA near the Azteca. They will never put them near the Azteca because the Azteca is different. Even with an England fan like myself, England could possibly play Mexico in the last 16, right? I'm not on the. I think England will struggle in that game. England probably lose in that game. I'm being honest as an England fan. I think like if you go to Mexico City, it's a difficult place to play. The altitude, the this and that. They've made it soft in America, definitely. Daryl. So, brother, big up hydration breaks basically turn the World Cup into 4 quarters, not a 2 halves of football. Exactly, Daryl. It's a joke. Exactly. At the end of the day, it's a joke. It's just what I said, Gregory. Puppet on a string. I just said that, Gregory. Big up, Greg. It's me. I don't know, Greg. I don't know how old you are, mate. I don't know if you're 5 or 50. I don't know, mate. I just said that. Basically turned the World Cup into 4 quarters. Yeah, it's a joke, Daryl. It's annoying. Do you know what I mean? It's so annoying. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just basically said that England would struggle in Mexico City. I just said that. I just said that England would struggle. They have done in the past. I don't know if you remember. Go and look on Google, Gregory, England against Argentina in 1986. Everyone says it. I met Trevor Brooking. Trevor Brooking used to play in England for England against Argentina, hand of God and all that. And I spoke to yeah, I'm older than you are, but obviously this size in here is not. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I mean, you don't know how old I am anyway. But yeah. So what I would say is that England played in 1986 World Cup in the Azteca, right? And I spoke to Trevor Brooking. I used to do interviews and stuff like that. And I spoke to Trevor Brooking. He used to manage West Ham, play for England. And he said that the altitude and the atmosphere in Mexico City is completely different. It's an unbelievable thing. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like anyone who beats Mexico in Mexico City, fair play, because it's a difficult place to play. And, you know, yeah. But I guarantee you, USA won't be going to Mexico City in this World Cup. Forget about the Gold Cup and irrelevant tournaments. USA will not be going to Mexico City this tournament. They won't. And that's already been set up. Right. Yeah. Let's have a look at what's going on elsewhere. It's still Turkey 1, USA 1, guys. Turkey finally have arrived, have they? No, it's a bit too late for Turkey to arrive anywhere. They're out of the tournament, guys. We've got 27 minutes on the clock, guys. We've got 27 minutes on the clock, and we are ready to go. Absolutely for this game. I would prefer, to be honest with you, I would prefer. Who would I prefer in this game? Obviously, Australia. I like Australia. Obviously, I've got a lot of Australian friends. But anyway, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you. But I made the best team win. That's all I say. May the best team win. Absolutely. I mean, I told you, Daryl, people, like, this World Cup, right, is a World Cup where I can't turn around to you and say who's going to win it, Daryl. Obviously, you got I mean, probably most likely France or Spain or, you know, someone like that. But I would say that, you know, a lot of these games are so unpredictable. And, you know, Germany already through, though, weren't they? So they were happy. I think that's the thing. You know, when you're already through, Daryl, you know, when you're already through, you already have that edge is taken away a little bit, I think. You know, when that edge, when you know in your head, you're already through. It's a bit like USA today. Then in their head, they're already through. You know what I mean? So they're not going to have that little bit of, you know, bite in there and stuff like that. It does take a little bit away from you, you know, at the end of the day. I guarantee you, like, if you had 6 points, if England had 6 points after 2 games, the third game would be like really dour and boring because both teams will be like trying to negotiate the thing. Of course, guys. Yeah. I think anyone who beats in this tournament, anyone who beats Spain or France will win the tournament. That's what I think, in my opinion. I think quality-wise, strength in depth, you can't look no further than Spain and France. And you know, when you look at the brand of football as well, it's not just about their squad; it's about the brand of football as well. And I know a lot of people will say Portugal. I just feel like Portugal mentally are going to fall. I just think that there's just something missing there. I don't know what it is, but if Portugal came up against France or Spain, I think it'd be very difficult for Portugal. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible, no way, but I think it'd be very difficult for Portugal, in my opinion. Daryl, Defo, bro, big up, Daryl. How's the game, mate? Pretty boring, to be fair, but 30 minutes gone. If I was Paraguay, I'll be looking to win this game. Obviously, if Paraguay draw their 4 points, Australia draw their 4 points, but Australia will go second based on their goal difference. So Australia will qualify. Paraguay will be sweating to see if they come one of the best 8 third place teams. And even that's a farce, isn't it? Best eight third place teams. It's crazy. It's nutcases. You know. It is crazy. But reward for failure. It's the taking part that counts. Someone said that to me. I said, no. As a Man United fan, it's never been the taking part that counts. That's why I want Man United to challenge for league titles. You know, you need to have that elite mentality, man. That's why I want Man United to qualify challenge for titles, because it's all about, you know, it's mad. Bring back the old school World Cup. Yeah, bring back the old school World Cup. I agree, mate. I agree. Wasn't it in the past, Daryl? Wasn't it the best third place team qualify? Wasn't it? It was like one, wasn't it? Something like that, or maybe top 3. I don't know, but it was definitely at least one of the top 3 sides qualify. Because I remember it a while ago. England could be the best third place and and stuff like that, if I remember. Now it's 8. I mean, what's the point? No. 2-1 to Turkey. 2-1 to Turkey. Turkey, yeah. 2. USA 1. Turkey have arrived, but too late. Too late, Turkey, mate. Too late. You've arrived too late into the tournament, mate. You couldn't even get yourself a draw in the opening 2 games. Yeah, you could. Big up, Kenny. You couldn't get a draw in the opening 2 games. There you go. But it's too late for Turks. USA already through. USA already through. It doesn't matter. You know, way too late. Yeah. USA don't need to win. They're through top of the group. Who cares? Nobody cares. USA are going through. That's what matters. Turkey couldn't even draw a game in the opening 2. You know, they couldn't even draw a game. You know, and now they disappointed me, because I did earmark them as one of the dark horses, and I said that with the likes of, Kenny. Kenny, do you know what? Yeah, 2-1, Gregory. Like what I would say, Kenny, is it's too late. Look, at least get a draw. One draw and one again. They would have given themselves a chance, haven't it? That's why I would have loved to do the Turkey-USA game. I'm just looking at the goal here. I would have loved to do that game. It's disappointing, because I know that Turkey are the best team in this group. Right? I know that 100%. But for some weird reason, they haven't turned up in this championship. They haven't turned up. You know, it's crazy. You know, man for man, they're the best team in this group. They're the only team in this group that have world-class players. Yeah, and I looked at their qualification stage as well. They fought to get to the World Cup. And then they come in and they're all disappointing and all that. You know, they go soft pillows and Barney the dinosaurs and things like that. Chance for Australia, long ball away from the goal, nothing there. Quality is terribly poor in this game, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, in football, you have to get results. It's simple as that. When it comes to the main tournament, you have to get results, you know. And if you don't get results, then you go out. It's as simple as that. Before you know it, you're out of the tournament. You know? The thing is, right? The thing is, thank you, Gregory. I know I'm bantering Gregory today, but I do love Gregory. I'm only friend. He's a good man. Well, the thing is, like, you have to start the tournament well, and tournament football, like, you can't come into the tournament, you lose your opening game, then you're under pressure straight away. And that's what I would say. Like, I mean, in a way, obviously England, like, for example, England have got a difficult group, right? It's a difficult group, but England know Croatia and they know Ghana and they know the way they play. They know, so when you go to these World Cups, you need to know how teams play. Like, I would say that if I was Turkey, it looks like Turkey went to this World Cup, looked at the group, and thought we're going to go through. That's what they said. I even predicted it in my prediction show. They looked at the group and said we're going to go through, and it's not worked out that way. You know what I mean? And you have to play. Here come Australia, shot straight at the goalkeeper. The number 5 there for Australia. Good shot. It was a good shot there from the number 5 there. Let me just get his name is, of course, Boss. So Boss, Jordan Boss plays for Feyenoord. He's 23-year-old. He plays more or less on the right-hand side. More or less on the right-hand side. Yeah, let me just write this to my wife. 1 second. Forget everyone, guys. Yeah, look, Sunday is when it all starts, and it lasts 32, so knockout stages. And bloody hell, guys, we're going to get extra time. I guarantee we're going to get extra time. We're going to get extra time. Not here today, we can't. But I mean, like, on Sunday, when the knockout stages start, it's extra time, isn't it? Paraguay, of course, are 0-0 at the moment between Australia, guys. Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying earlier about teams that are already through. You lose that little bit of edge in the last game, and I think that's what happened to Germany today as well. Germany lost 2-1 to Ecuador. You know, if that's the quarterfinal or the last 32, Germany are not losing to Ecuador. You know that, innit? It's not going to happen. And basically, Ecuador had that little bit of an advantage because obviously they had the competitiveness edge still there, isn't it? Yeah. I'm looking forward to the latter stage of the tournament. I'm looking forward to when the tournament gets to the latter stages. That's when it all gets down to the serious stuff, isn't it? There will be 1 or 2 teams that will be still there. There might be one team that is the shock team in the tournament. There always is a shock team. Just to run through the results today, guys. Curacao, dream is over. They lost 2-0 to Ivory Coast. Ecuador defeated Germany by 2-1. Japan, who I feel been a little bit disappointing this tournament, 1-1 against Sweden. And Tunisia won Netherlands 3. It's like I said, but guys, it's almost like I don't talk shit, isn't it? I said at the beginning of the tournament, friendlies mean nothing, right? I said it about Japan, right? And I said friendlies mean nothing, right? It depends what happens on the international stage, on the World Cup, and that what happened. You know what I mean? And there we go. 0-0, 1-1 between Sweden. Sweden are one of the most unpredictable teams, to be honest with you. I can't work them out, to be honest with you. However, Japan do go through on 5 points, and Sweden go to 3rd place with 4 points. Guys, so as we stand, Sweden are going through. I think they will go through as one of the best 3rd place teams because their goal difference. So they are. Yeah, they got the better goal difference. Tunisia -10 goal difference. That's just an absolute. an absolute waste of time, to be honest with you. I would say in regards to what Tunisia did in this tournament, they weren't very good, to be honest. Probably the worst team in the tournament, pound for pound. Big everyone in the stream, though. Don't forget to smash a like, please. If you guys can do that for me, thank you so much. Smash the likes, guys. Let's get those likes up. You know, that would be absolutely fantastic. You can get those likes up. Would really appreciate it, of course. Would really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who's liking the stream. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. You will say losing 2-1 to Turkey. Obviously, that is basically a nothing game, if you're being honest. If let's be real, USA are through, Turkey are out. So I think that is more or less like a nothing game, in my opinion. Absolutely, you know, I would say so. Yeah. Big up everyone in the stream. Redmond Tower, as usual, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Lots of love, man. Lots of love. Thank you, everyone who's joined me for these guys. Let's not forget, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning where I am. You know what I mean? You know, so obviously, great to have you here. Well, it was kicked off at 6, so I woke up at 5 to sort it out and stuff like that. It's great to have everyone here. Great to have everyone in the stream. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your love that you show on the channel every single day. You know, really do. It is a blessing to be in your presence. Thank you. The channel is nothing without you. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Paraguay 0, Australia 0. Typical, I've chosen this game to do, and it's 0-0. Paraguay on the attack. So I'm just messaging my wife. Thank you. Appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate that. Really appreciate every one of you today, guys. Honestly, I do. Don't forget, later on, I've got France against Norway, guys. Don't forget, France against Norway. Later on, that is who tops the group, basically. Big up, Daryl. It's tough work, brother. It's tough work. Where are you now, Daryl? You're in Ireland, isn't it? Ireland or UK? Yeah, it's 3 hours behind. Yeah, so you're definitely there. You're 3 hours behind, isn't it? Yeah. I was up at 5 to do this because obviously I have to do the graphics and prepare myself for the game and stuff like that. So I was up at 5. So it's difficult, man. It is difficult. You know, can't wait till it's back in Europe. But before you know it, it's going to be in Saudi Arabia next time. So don't worry about it. No. Yeah, Saudi Arabia would be the opposite. It'd be ahead. So you'll, instead of being behind, it'd be ahead. So basically, it's a little bit better, I think. 3 hours ahead is better than 3 hours behind, I think. If I'm right, do you think? Nah, maybe not. If it's an 8 o'clock kickoff, it's an 11 p.m. kickoff, isn't it? Yeah. But for me, I'm literally like 10 hours. 10 hours. Behind or ahead of the USA. Basically, some parts of the USA 11 hours. I think something like that. So obviously, some of the times are like mad. You know what I mean? Absolute mad. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, because there's some games I would have liked to do, but there's just a ridiculous o'clock. You know what I mean? So I couldn't do them. You know, but because I've got things to do during the day, haven't I? You know what I mean? I've got things to do during the day. I can't have no sleep whatsoever. Big up. Any news from Shaq? What, my brother Shaq? Not really. He's in Spain at the moment. He's enjoying life in Spain. Big up, my friend. Big up, Hertfordshire crew. Love it. So you're near Watford, right, Daryl? You're near Watford, right? Been to Watford a number of times. Seen United in Watford a couple of times. Around that area. Metropolitan line. All the way up. If you know, you know. Good morning, Tybo. What's going on with your legend? Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope everything is good with you. Good to see the legend back in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, well, like my obviously my brother and that are in Spain at the moment. They're in Spain, and my dad always goes to Spain. My brother always goes to Spain. They always go every single year. I'm in Italy in July, July the 4th. I'm in Italy. So, guys, I'll be doing the rest of the World Cup from Italy, which I don't know if it'd be a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, I love being in my studio. I love being in my studio. It's my own surroundings and stuff like that. When I go to Italy in my apartment in Italy, it's like it's not set up. It's not set up for streams and stuff, but I try and do it. I do it, obviously, but obviously it's more like a home sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going to still do it. I'm going to obviously go all the way to the World Cup final, and hopefully England are in the World Cup final. I mean, there's a pig flying. Oh, there's a pig flying. You never know. But yeah, hopefully England staying as long as possible, so it adds a little bit of edge, of course. Oh, it's a save. It's a good save from the Paraguayan goalkeeper. Big up, Darryl, my good man. Hope you're well, Darryl. Can't wait to go back to England, man. I ain't been back. You know, I haven't been back to my homeland in 4 years. I've been traveled everywhere. I haven't been back to England in 4 years, since 2022. 2022, I haven't been back to the UK. It's unbelievable, isn't it? You'll be fine next time. We will have the difficulty on the other side of the world. Yeah. I don't mind the timings. It's just that I don't like missing games, Gregory. And unfortunately, I have to miss games. I don't like missing World Cup games. In my life, when I was younger, obviously I didn't have a job, so I would watch every game, you know. And even when it was in the USA in '94, I watched every game, right? But when I have to work during the day and do a stream in the morning, it's like I can't do the night one. So it disappoints. Yeah, it disappoints me. It angers me because I'm missing big games like Morocco, Scotland, and Brazil and Scotland and things like that. I ain't done one watch along for Scotland in this tournament. I mean, can you believe it? I mean, and that's what upsets me. So obviously you have to spread the World Cup around, but I think it's very disappointing that the home country of England has only hosted one World Cup in their history. Don't you think that's mad, Greg? 1966. Don't you think that's mad? That's like the USA hosting the Super Bowl once. Imagine. I know that Super Bowl's every year, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. Like, I would like to see it in England. It should be there, you know? But it's not going to be. It's going to be Saudi Arabia next. I might not even be in the Middle East in 4 years' time. I might not even be here. I might be back in England. I might be in Italy. I might be somewhere like that. Nice game for Germany. The thing is, Tyberg, what I would say, look, in your defense, okay, is that you were through, brother. You were through. And you know, when you've won the opening 2 games, it does take that edge a bit away. I spoke about it earlier on in the show. It does take away that little bit of edge. You know, when you're already through, you know, Ecuador needed something from the game. And, you know, you were like, oh, subconsciously, you already feel like you're there, innit? You are there. And it doesn't really matter, to be honest. All right, it's nice to be undefeated and da-da-da. But, you know, you're through, mate. It doesn't really matter. I'm sure, you know, it's just I've always said it, like when you're already through, it takes the edge away. It does. And yeah, I'm not surprised that Ecuador won, you know. Big up, Daryl. Good brother, and obviously about UK is mad right now. What's going on in the UK though? How is it? What's the overall vibe back there, bro? Why am I hearing so many negative stories about my hometown, mate? My home country. I'm hearing so many so much crap, fabricated crap, a lot of stuff. Like I was raised in England, born in England, and I know the country very, very well, mate. You know what I mean? So it does disappoint me the way that I'm hearing a lot. It's always been like that, though, Daryl. It's only getting publicized more, Daryl. It's always been like that with these things. When I was growing up, Daryl, it happened almost every week in Leighton. It happened every week in Leighton, man. When I was raised in Leighton in East London, it was happening every week, mate. It's the same thing. It's just getting publicized more. But obviously, I think just everything, I think everything is just. I was like, obviously, look, guys. I'm a mixed race fella. I'm a bit like United Nations, to be honest. I've got so many different backgrounds. It's ridiculous, right? You know what I mean? But yeah, South London. You know it, Daryl. It's always been going on. It's just publicised more. I used to work in Marks and Spencers in Brixton, Daryl. Remember Marks and Spencers? You know the Marks and Spencers on the corner with the David Bowie painting. I used to work in there. I worked in there for a year, Daryl. Yeah. I used to work in there, bruv. Tybo, agree, Sal. We didn't need points, so they called chilled a bit. I just hope they will fight again in the next game. It wasn't a huge surprise to me, to be honest. Yeah, because you know what, in this World Cup, teams are going to be really up for it. If they need to qualify, they're going to be really up for it. Teams that you may not think it, and they may say to themselves, "We're going to fight for this game. We're going to do this and do that." But deep down, football's on little tiny margins, isn't it? Little tiny margins. And when the team down tools slightly, that's when you get caught, And I think Germany did. If it was Ecuador against Germany in the last 32 or the last 16, Germany win. I'm sorry. Germany win. If it was Ecuador, you know what I mean? Goals, bro, absolutely. David Bowie, yeah, David Bowie painting. Yes, Gregory. Yeah. David Bowie used to go to a studio there. Those who know me, I was close to working with David Bowie before he passed away. And guys, meant a long time ago. But yeah, there's a David Bowie painting just across there. I actually was on the phone to him. Honestly, yeah. Unbelievable moment for me. But a lot of people used to go to it. There was a studio in there around that area that he used to go to sometimes. Absolutely. Guns of Brixton. One of the best songs ever. Big up Tyborg. Big up everyone. As people know, I'm from Leytonstone. What's Leytonstone famous for? Iron Maiden, David Beckham. I'm from that town, which is even more dangerous. Leytonstone, East London. It's called Cattle Estate. Cattle. Can you believe it? Naming your town Cattle. We're just a bunch of cattle to them. And that's what it was. You know what I mean? Yeah. I lived in a place called, Hollydown Way, which was an awful place to live. Really bad. And yeah, it was bad. But yeah, Brixton, worked there for a year and a half, I think it was. I worked in Brixton. Oh, yes, Tyborg, and him. Well, he's East London. He's Whitechapel, but he's up the road. Yeah, it's a walking distance. Yeah. You know what's funny? You know what I find really funny about this whole thing, right? Is that they actually have this tourist thing in Whitechapel, right? Where you can go on the Jack the Ripper tour. What I find crazy is that people glorify serial killers in life. In this world, they glorify them. They have movies about them, Netflix series about them, tourist excursions about them and things like that. It just, at the end of the day. Leyton Orient, yes, Leyton Orient. Yeah. Didn't like them. If you know Leyton Orient, they used to be run by a guy called Barry Hearn. If you know Barry Hearn, Barry's the Hearn's the father of Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is the guy who's responsible for the boxing, Matchroom Sports, Anthony Joshua, and all these guys there, obviously. And Barry Hearn was an absolute prat, mate. I'll tell you that right now. A prat. He was an absolute prat, mate. You know, yeah. I lived basically on Leighton Orient when I was growing up. But I was born in Leytonstone, which is up the road. So basically, Leytonstone is up the road to Leighton. So Leighton and Leytonstone are literally 5 minutes apart. So I was born in Leytonstone, raised in Leytonstone for the first 10 years of my life. I moved to a place called Chingford, went to the same school as David Beckham as well in Chase Lane. And then I moved everywhere. I even moved, when I was growing up, obviously, I didn't have a pot to piss in. So I moved around. So I even moved into like one of those care home places and that when I was younger for women who suffered aggressive partners and things like that. I used to put in that, and I lived in there at a young age as well. Before my dad went to find it's like I lived in a car for 3 weeks in a Datsun. You know what I mean? I lived in a Datsun for 3 weeks. You know what it's like to live in a Datsun? It's not amazing. Leather seats and all, or fake leather seats. But yeah, the tires, that's what it is. The way it is what it is. Yes, Daryl. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been around. Now I'm in Abu Dhabi. I've been in Abu Dhabi. There you go. Lots of history in London. There was nothing where I was born, but Vidic played for my hometown. Well, that's enough, Tyberg. That's enough to have just Nemanja Vidic. That's enough for your country to live forever, mate. In the history books, the best defender in Premier League history, 2 times Player of the Year, 2 times Player of the Year, 2 times. You know. Unbelievable. Best defender in Premier League history. Van Dijk. Give me that nonsense. Absolutely. Big up, Daryl. Love my bro. Yeah. People think, right? People think when you go to England, people don't understand the struggles in England. They really don't. They think that, you know, we're born with a sword and an armor. You know what I mean? And I have come to take over your land. I've been sent from the Queen to take over your land. You must remove yourself at once or bow down to my feet. Yeah. Maybe some of my teachers were like that when I was going. Maybe some of my teachers. Gregory, I had a Nissan a long time ago, so I know Datsun. I couldn't imagine sleeping in a little car. Yeah, me, my dad, my younger brother, my baby brother back then, my older brother, and my mum did. Yeah. My older brother lives in New York now. He's married in New York. He lives in there. He's loving it there. He's been there 20 years. My grandma's from Newport News, Virginia. She's American. Yeah. So I have got around. So, you know, I have been around, and I've been to America multiple times. I think the funniest thing I've ever done when I went to America, I went to Detroit, right? And we went through the security gate and the metal detectors. So we went through, it was all good. So my brother went through and he said, "Sorry, guys." I go, "What?" He goes, "You can't go through." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you can't have tattoos in America." I said, "What?" Because my brother, he has an angel tattoo and he has tattoos all down his arm, right? He has an angel tattoo. He's obviously a rapper. And that was that. So he goes, "You can't have tattoos in London." I said, "But you got tattoos." He goes, "Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Anyone coming from a foreign country can't have tattoos." And then, right, he goes, "I'm only joking." He goes, "I'm only joking." Oh, what the hell, man? This is meant to be a serious thing. And then I went out. He goes, "You guys can go. Go on." We went outside, and he came back and said, "Only joking. You have to come back in. We're going to have to ask you a few questions." And then we went in the back, right, with our bags and everything. And then he goes, "I'm only joking again. We don't need to ask you any more questions. Off you pop." What is wrong? I said, "What the hell?" Goodness me. Yeah, they didn't believe me. They didn't believe me. I said I'm here to work with Shady Records out over there, and they didn't believe me. Sal, the traveler of the world. Big up, Daryl. Well, I didn't travel initially when I was younger. I hardly traveled at all when I was young. I didn't have no money to travel. I think the closest I got to traveling was on a hovercraft, Daryl, to France. And on that, and it was like the great storm. There was a big storm in the 80s, the 80s. You know, there was a big storm in the late 80s. And that it ruined it, to be honest with you. I lost my shoes and we had to get some shoes, to buy some shoes and stuff. That during the 80s, that's the only time I traveled. I went on a hovercraft to France. Probably cost £1, but yeah. Wouldn't change it for the world, though. Would not change it for the world. I would not change it for the world. Absolutely not. I will keep it exactly the way it is. Tybo, but a lot of what's happening here where I live now, Caesar had his adventure and World War II. That was also terrible here. I mean, listen, it's horrible. When I spoke about to my granddad, God rest his soul, and stuff like that, and he spoke about it and stuff, it was like, it's terrible, and human beings, look at the World Cup, the unification between different cultures and different people around the world. Human beings, you know what the most beautiful thing in life is? What I learned. Human beings, forget about everything else. Human beings are there to be kind. Be kind. Kindness goes a long way, man. It really does. And unfortunately, we have a certain few people in this world throughout history who just want to cause chaos and want to divide, want to conquer, want to cause destruction, want to cause horrific things and stuff like that, unfortunately. And it's that, I think Tupac said it. When the rich wage war, it's the poor that suffer. And the poor do suffer. And that's the thing. The normal folk suffer, not the people at the top in their palaces and their bunkers underground and things like that, Yes, they were, Gregory. Always. I think one of the worst things was Los Angeles. I have a friend of mine, right? His name's funny enough, Sal. His name's Sal as well. And we went to Los Angeles and we got off the plane. So basically they said, right, anyone, you stand to the side, basically, right? And you know what he did, right? He's Muslim, right? And when he came off the plane and they put it to one side, he goes, "It's because I'm Muslim, innit?" He's a joker, right? He's just a joker. He's a natural born joker. He has these rosy cheeks, right? He has these rosy cheeks. And then he got in trouble, obviously. We went through, obviously, and everything. And we were waiting for him like this. And you know the woman who works into security, right? She was asking him a bunch of questions, and she was quite big, right? And he goes, "Oh, you look like Jennifer Lopez." Oh God! And it was like, no, she doesn't. I was like, oh my God! So he's gonna get us in trouble. We're gonna get deported. And then we're gonna get deported. I go, oh my goodness! And he's got this, this smirk on his face all the time. He's laughing, like he's always like he's gonna crack a joke or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Tyborg, off work, guys. Have a good one, Tyborg. Have a good day. Great watch along and a nice weekend. You guys driving to Serbia tonight. But safe journey, Tyborg. Take it easy. Much love to you and your family. And have a good time, my good man. And I'll see you soon. Big up Serbia, the Serbian crew. Big up yourself. You know what? I got about 3 Man United jerseys with Vidic written on the back. You know that? Yeah. Later off, Daryl, my bro. Take it easy. Bless up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Take it easy, man. We're ready for the second half here, guys. Australia against Paraguay, of course, in this game. We're ready. We're going for it, guys. We're going for it. Big up everyone in the stream. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. Of course, big up yourselves. I will be back later on for the double watch along. Of course, I'm doing a double watch along later on, guys. The double watch along. It's between France and Norway and Senegal and Iraq. Senegal still got a chance to qualify. Norway and France, it depends on who comes top. That's basically what that is. It's basically who comes top. And that is what that game is. Bear me a second. 0-0. Paraguay 0. Australia 0. Panama playing England on Saturday/Sunday tomorrow. Goodness me. Time flies. Why are England playing tomorrow? I don't know if I'm going to do that watch along. It's at 1 o'clock in the morning. F that. Croatia against that. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12. So is that UK time? So how can that be? So it's 9, 10, 11. 9:45, 10:45, 11:45. 11:45. So it's midnight kickoff. That can't be right. Let me have a look at this. England against Paraguay at 1 in the morning. So yeah, I won't be able to do that one. I'm doing on Saturday. Is it Saturday? Tomorrow? There is obviously I'm doing Egypt against Iran and New Zealand against Belgium. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. And then I'm doing then that's it. Sunday. No, I'm doing tomorrow. I'm doing in the morning, I'm doing Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand, Belgium. And then on Sunday, I'm doing South Africa against Canada in the last 32. I'm doing that in the last 32. That's the first last 32 game. And on Sunday, I'm doing Algeria against Austria on Sunday. Just to let you guys know, keeping you up to date. Monday, I haven't even, no games have been worked out yet. So it's Brazil against somebody on Monday. Brazil against somebody on Monday. I'm doing. So obviously we're getting down to the last 32. So Brazil against somebody or Brazil, somebody. So we're gonna find out this weekend anyway who's playing who England are gonna play and stuff like that. Do you know what I would say is that to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And if you're gonna win the World Cup, if you're gonna do well, you got to beat best teams. I actually feel like if you play a big team before, in the tournament and you knock them out, it gives you a huge boost, a confidence boost, a kind of air of invincibility about yourself. Like, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes it's not a bad thing to play a Portugal or play that earlier on, because if you knock them out, you're one of the favorites. Like, you'll be like, ooh, you know what I mean? Ooh, that's not going to be bad. They're not bad. You know what I mean? They're going to be, they're not, they're going to be doing well in this tournament. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So yeah, I don't think it's necessarily. I think just you have to play. You have to play who you get, isn't it? At the end of the day, you have to play whoever comes in your way, and you have to negotiate whoever comes in your way. Of course, absolutely, guys. But big up everyone in the stream. Big up, obviously, Greg, who's joined me this morning. Big up the legend, Greg. Big up Tybor. Big up Daryl, of course, as well. Ephraim, all these people, legends that are in the stream today, guys. Appreciate you all, of course. Really do. Let me just run through the substitutions for on this game so far, guys. We got a couple of substitutions to talk about. Alessandro, let me just get this up. Let me get the commentary up. Okay. So we got Maurizio coming on for Paraguay, and Alessandro Maidana has come off for Paraguay. So Maurizio basically is a player plays for Palmeiras. He plays attacking midfielder. So he's in an attacking substitution for Paraguay here. An attacking substitution for Paraguay. We're underway in the second half, guys. Let's get it on. Let's hope. Paraguay have to win. They have to win, basically. So when I'm looking at I'm going to look at now the top best third place teams. So I'm going to have a look at the best third place teams now at the moment. Let's have a look. So Paraguay are actually not doing bad. They're in fourth place. If they draw this game, they'll be in fourth place in the best third place teams. So, but if they lose, they'll go way down. But at the moment, they're best for third place, in fourth place. But you got Croatia, Algeria, Cape Verde, Belgium, Congo, Senegal. So they could, it's not guaranteed, at the end of the day, it's not guaranteed. So at the moment, as we stand, even a team with no points can go through. Because at the moment, No, they can't. I'm joking. Basically, yeah, Senegal win. I think I think it's going to be 4 points. No, mate, it's not going to be 3 points. In literally, right, if Cape Verde, Belgium, or DR Congo win, or Senegal win, Scotland are out. Scotland are hanging on by the skin of their teeth. The skin of their teeth, you know? That's what they're doing. Yeah, Zaid, what are your sources saying on the Fernandes? Is it over? Ziad, can I just talk about this, right? I think you know, at this moment in time, Man United don't want to pay the money, Ziad. The problem is, right? The problem is that if Spurs willing to pay the money like losers, because they're going to pay the money, but they're not losers, I'm joking. But if Spurs are willing to pay the money, West Ham are going to stay firm. The problem is that Fernandes doesn't want to go to Spurs. This is a fact. Fernandes has opened the door to Spurs, but his priority is Manchester United. The problem with Manchester United is Manchester United do not want to pay the money. So that means that Fernandes has no choice but to go to Spurs. You know, because nobody is going to pay 85 million. My biggest concern about Manchester United here is that Manchester United are walking away from everybody. Anderson is a here we go. Anderson is over. He's gone to Manchester City. We are not getting Anderson now. He's gone to Manchester City. Here we go. It's done. That ship has sailed. That's off the table. Now, what we're looking at: Tonali, Tchouaméni, and Matheus Fernandes, Alex Scott. There are some guys. Yeah. Zayed, we are waiting. This is what we did last season, Zayed. We waited for the financial season to end. Well, basically, July the 1st, the FFP and PSI gets resetted. It's the fiscal year. So the financial year gets resetted. But let me just say that we did this last year. And then we spent a month on Mbeumo. Remember, Zayed, we spent a month trying to sign in Mbeumo. You know? So we need 7-8 players in this football club because so many players are leaving. We need to move quickly. This whole fiscal year, financial year, it's an excuse, Syed. It's an excuse. You know, because you could still do deals. You could still do deals in now. The window's open. You don't have to do it officially. You can have a verbal agreement, an agreement in principle. You can have that done already. Like we did with Edison. Edison hasn't officially signed. 2-2, Turkey 2, USA 2. Edison hasn't officially signed. You know that. It's just verbal. So why can't Man United do verbal deals with anyone else? They're using the fiscal year, the financial year, as an excuse to waste time, kick the ball up the road. That's what they're doing. Wasting time. Right? If we have 3 or 4 signings this season, it's not enough. Great shot by Paraguay. It's not enough. Fernandes said he prioritizes Man United, but no one else was in for him, Mbeumo. Yeah, there was talk about Spurs, but no one else wanted. No one else was in for him at the end of the day. But you can't expect every single... Spurs didn't want to pay the money for him, Mbeumo. You know? We're named out with bloody Carlos Baleba. Exactly, Kenny. Spurs didn't want to pay the money for him, Mbeumo. They want to pay the money for Fernandes. So if we're not going in for him, he has no choice but to go to Spurs. What do you want him to do? You know? And then what does that say? Matheus Fernandes off the table, factually. Anderson off the table, factually. Factually, he has not gone to Man United. We deal with facts, right? Let's forget about excuses. But that's what it is. Ramona says Spurs will be fast, so they might force our hand one way or the other. It could be, like I said, I was the first one to say yesterday, day before yesterday, it could be a bluff to force Man United their hand. You know what I mean? Like you said, it could be that. It could be that they want to force Man United to pay, right? I don't think Fernandes is worth 85 million. Let me just clarify something, right? However, Spurs, like the idiotic fools they are, which they are a stupid football club, they've come in and said they're willing to pay 85 million because they are desperate. They are desperate. And now what they've done? What have they done now? They've raised the valuation. Oh, Spurs are willing to pay 85 million for Fernandes. So why can't Man United pay 85 million for Fernandes? And they have a point there, don't they? Fernandes, when we finished the season last season, Fernandes was 55 to 65 million pounds. That's how much he was. Not 85. You know what I mean? They got relegated, not forget. His price should be going down, not up. Zayed, If we can get Tchouaméni, then fair enough. But they are brave. I mean, Tchouaméni is a tier 1 side. He's a tier 1 signing. He's a magnificent signing. But we're looking at the tier 2 too. We haven't got a tier 2. So basically, we've got Edison. He's a tier 3 for me, right? 35 million. Nobody else wanted him. Blah blah blah. Nobody spoke about Edison before we were linked to him. You know, but what I would say is that this summer is a massive summer. You could sink or swim, and we could talk as much as we want about this player, that player, that player. It's because of this. It's because of that. I don't want to be. I don't want to pay the money. One thing I would say to everyone, right, about it, is because how comes everything we do, everything comes out of Ineos' mouth? He's too expensive. We can't afford the wages, the fiscal year, the financial year. We're not going to be held to ransom. We're not going to. Why is it only us? Negative, negative, negative. We're walking away. We're walking away. We're not going after that deal. It's too expensive. We're walking away. Tonali, Anderson, Mateus Fernandes. Scott is going to be as much as Mateus Fernandes. They think Scott's going to be cheap. Are you having a laugh? He's just got Bournemouth to the Europa League. You know, these people are crazy. This is why we needed a full sale. You know, this is why we needed the full sale of the club. Listen, guys, at this moment where we stand, right, Ugate's leaving the football club. I'll tell you that right now. We're left with Kobe Mainoo and Edison. Guys, I'm sorry. That's not a title winning midfield. That's not a top half winning midfield. I'll be honest. The board has no ambitions. They say just money pinching to the fans. Absolutely. They have no ambition, mate. They're liars, mate, and manipulators. And then some people lap it up. That's why it happens when the club transfer moves like a snail. Yeah, and they will move like a snail. This whole fiscal year, financial year thing, we saw it last year, Kenny, didn't we? The same shit, different year. It's the same thing, different year. This is just a manipulation tactic to push the ball, kick the ball down the road so they run out of time. Basically, that's what it is. And then they can use that excuse, well, don't worry, we run out of time this time, but we're going to go after it in January. Like they were talking about Anderson in January. Do you remember they were talking about Anderson? Non-stop, you know? But at the moment, he's not a tier 1. He's a tier 2. Right? The tier 1 is Anderson, Tonali, and Tchouaméni at the moment. He is a tier 2 player at this moment. A relegated West Ham player is not a tier 1 right now. This is, trust me, bruv, territory. He will be a good player, no doubt. Right? Not at Tottenham, he won't. Let me tell you about Bergvall. Bergvall is one of the highest rated players in Europe. Where's Bergvall now? Bissong was one of the highest value players in Europe at Brighton. Where's he now? Everyone who goes to Spurs, forget about it. You're going to go down, mate. Same bullshit, different window. And some people some people lap it up. Some people still lap this bullshit up. They give them a platform to do this crap. Big platforms, massive platforms. They give them an opportunity to do this. This is what I'm talking about. They make excuses for them. Oh, well, to be fair, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know what I don't like? As soon as Fernandes is going to go to West Ham, to go to Spurs, right? As soon as he's going to go to Spurs, oh, he's not good enough. He's not good at that. He can't pass there. He's XG's this. He's all that. We make excuses, right? We make excuses. As soon as we sign a tin pot Brazilian midfielder that hasn't been good for a couple of years, right? Oh, but this, or but this. Oh, he's going to be this. He's that. He's going to be this. You know, and making excuses. Make excuses. Guys, look, I hope that Edison performs, and I really do hope so. I wish him all the best. He'll get my full support. But at the end of the day, the players that are wanted by other clubs around Europe are the players that we should be getting. You know, the players like Tonali, Anderson, Mateus Fernandes. Anderson's gone now. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano. It's over. He was the perfect Man United player, by the way. Perfect for Man United, you know? He's not worth 85 million, though. If we sign him as a marquee signing, we're stupid. We're stupid. Because Man United, if they're going to get a marquee signing, they need to get Tchouaméni. You know? Man United have 500 million to spend, Zayed. We made 191 million for finishing third. We're getting 100 million from the Champions League. We're getting 40 million from Rasmus Højlund. We're losing wages on Sancho and Casemiro. That's millions saved. We're going to sell Marcus Rashford as well. That's money coming in. You've also got the revenue, 200 million in regards to shirt sales, in regards to season ticket holders, in regards to all this stuff, right? You got that 200 million. So I don't want to hear any excuses from those idiots. But honest to God, there's no excuse. They could buy Fernandes for 85 million. They can buy Tchouaméni. They can get all these players. They can. We hold them up. You know, at the end of the day, they're just full of lies, mate. Low cash flows are lie and a manipulation tactic, Zayed. I'm just giving you an example. Cash flow is low. So can I ask you something, Zayed? Tottenham built a stadium. Their stadium cost $1 billion. How comes they can afford Mateus Fernandes? They didn't get Champions League. How comes they can afford Mateus Fernandes? Their excuse last season was, we're not in Europe. That was their excuse last season. Let's not forget their excuse last season. It was, we're not in Europe. We're going to lose money. You know, that was their excuse. What's their excuse this season? Cash flow's low. People who lap that up are ignorant idiots. They're idiots. Anyone who believes that nonsense are idiots. Yeah, but I've just given you an example. 100 million comes from the Champions League. They're not getting 100 million from Lewis, though, isn't it? Forget about Lewis. We got 100 million for the Champions League, so that equals it out, doesn't it? They ain't got 100 million for the Champions League. That's different. Let's not make excuses for them, Zayed. Where's their 100 million from the Champions League? Where's their 191 million for finishing third? Did they finish third last season? No. Right? So let's not go there. Where's their 40 million for Rasmus? Where's that? Right? Where's that? Our revenue is double what their revenue is. 200 million in revenue we make every single year, given no arguments. We release free jerseys. Free jerseys. We sell out 70,000 season tickets. 70,000. Right? I don't want to hear any bull crap about what Spurs do and what they invested. Spurs are a minute little skep of what we earn. They're using excuses to put the bloody money in their pocket. That's what they do. We've got an opportunity here. We've got a massive opportunity, right, to do something. Do not lower your standards to their manipulation and lies. Just like they lied about, oh, we're going to buy the football club in 2026. As far as I'm aware, it's June. It comes Australia. As far as I'm aware, it's June 2026. June, right? As far as last time I checked, what's going on there? Oh, Sheikh Jassim Hamid doesn't exist. Oh, but we saw him in the World Cup Championship, didn't we? Taking selfies, didn't we? Lie, 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 lie. Everything's been a lie. Don't fall for it. Zayed, you're absolutely spot on. You're absolutely right, brother. Brother, you're absolutely right. But we shouldn't accept it. We shouldn't accept it. You know, we should not accept this bullcrap. We're Manchester United, Zayed. We're Manchester United. Manchester City are skep off our soul. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. We are Manchester United. We're the biggest club in the world. We're owned by absolute skint, broke, stingy liars, basically. You know? Oh, well, you know, I don't even know if Sheikh Jassim Hamid exists. Well, he obviously did because he's at the World Championship final. You know what I mean? So just honest to God. All right, listen, look, this is how it's going to play outside. We're going to have a poor window, right? We have a poor window, all right? We're going to be in the Champions League next season. One week, we're going to play playing Arsenal on a Saturday. The next day, on the Wednesday, we're going to be playing Real Madrid in the Bernabeu. That's what it's going to be, right? This season, we had injuries everywhere in our team. We didn't have Sesko for a period. We didn't have Licha. We haven't had De Ligt for a period, right? And even Casemiro was injured for a period. We had a Mainu. So we had a few injuries in our team. What's going to happen next season when we haven't got a week between games? What's going to happen? We're going to play on a Tuesday or the Wednesday, right? And it's not going to be, any team. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be any team we're going to be playing. We might even play Real Madrid or Barcelona or PSG. It's going to be like that. You need a squad, man. And these bloody liars. Guys, I'm British. I'm English, right? I know all about Ineos. I know all about Jim Ratcliffe. I know what they are. I know they're liars. I know that they're liars. They're lying to you. Listen to Goldbridge. Listen to all of them. There's a reason that he has 2 million subscribers because he's talking like me. in a bigger platform, right? And this is what we're talking about. Those other people who have platforms that were given to them are gaslighting Ineos into something like, so they get their free VIP passes and all that, trying to manipulate you, gaslighting you into thinking that everything's okay, everything's gravy. Nobody's going to criticize them. Nobody. They haven't got the cojones to criticize them. You know, and that's what it is. I will come on there every single day. It'd be more beneficial for me to come on this channel and talk highly of Ineos and talk highly of what they're doing and be sympathetic to them. It'd be more beneficial to me, right? It would be, but I'm not like that. I tell the truth. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, and no one likes it. Liverpool are going to dominate to 303, and this is exactly what we're saying, Zaid. We're going to allow that. You know how long it took us to get Liverpool off their perch? We're putting them back on their perch. You know who's put them back on their perch? The Glazers and Ineos. I put Liverpool back on their perch. Liverpool, let me tell you, Kirkes, Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, Ekitike, 1 year experience in the Premier League. They're going to be better next season. Munoz already in the door. Already done, right? Signed. Not, trust me, bruv. Signed, right? And then they're going to get more. Don't worry about that. They'll get more. They're going to challenge that season. Don't worry about that. Spurs, what I'm hearing, if they go out and sign Tonali and Mateus Fernandes, forget about it. No, forget about it. You know, we'll be lucky to even sign two midfielders right now. Hey. It's trust me, brother FC, isn't it, Ken? It's trust me, brother FC. It's like, we're going to come good. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It's all this nonsense. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Paraguay 0, Australia 0, guys. 62 minutes gone, 63 minutes gone. As we stand, both teams are going through. Paraguay have to sweat a bit because obviously they'll be in one of the best third place positions. However, there are still a number of teams to play, so that could change. That could change. But as we stand, they're fourth place in the best third place position as we stand right now. Right, ciao. I feel depressed every day. I wake up to seeing United transfer news. Look, mate, you know, we're in it together. We're on the same boat. We're on the same boat, mate. You know, and we are all Man United fans. Ciao. Right? Wherever we are in the world, we love this football club. And I will always call it. This is why I keep it Stretford Post, because I'll always call it as it is. I will always call it as it is. Some people can't take the heat in the kitchen. Some people, when I speak, right, and I call out people for what they really are, some people can't handle the heat. Some people can't. They can't take it. Right? If I criticize a certain fan channel, they come on, you can't say that about him. How can you say that? Because they're part of the problem. They're part of the problem. They're the reason we're not getting the Mateus Fernandes and Anderson and Tonali. They are the reason as well. They're just as bad. Do you know what I mean? Kenny, Ryan, you are not alone here. Yeah, exactly. 24, Laurie said United plan to sign 4 major signings, and now we're approaching July, June. Don't listen to Laurie Whitwell. I told people that from the beginning. Who cares about Laurie Whitwell? You know, these people are just idiots, man. Honestly, honest to God. Honestly. They're just there for lights and kicks. We're going to do this. Trust me, bruv. We're going to do this. It's all PR, mate. I wouldn't be surprised if Jim gives him the information to splurt out into the media waves. Welcome to the stream, Gregory. That was about an hour ago, wasn't it? Big up, Greg. Why did they take the Amazon documentary if this was was the window that they... So, because that's going to be next year, Zai, 2027. Yeah. Not 2026. Yeah. I mean, I don't know when they're starting filming, but if they're starting to film in 2027, then it's gonna be the 2027 window, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Exactly that, Zayed. Thank you, Zayed. My brother. Thank you so much. Zayed says it there. It's all there. It's all there. We know what they're doing. Mitten. He's a clown, mate. People think he's somehow because he used to sell his fanzines outside Old Trafford. I'm fed up with these clowns. They're part of the problem at this football club. Mitten is a clown. They're all clowns, mate. They're all the reason that our mediocrity is there. They wouldn't even be, if they were Real Madrid, they wouldn't even be near the Bernabeu. They'd be ushered out of the Bernabeu. That's what it would be, because these guys, you know what? Oh, look at me and my little fanzine. Look at me. I'm sending fans. Look at them. Feel sorry for me. I want to PR. Look, this is what it is at the end of the day. Absolute clowns, man. They're part of the problem. These so-called elitist fans that they think they're bigger than everyone else. An absolute bloody idiot. That's what he is. Because at the end of the day, all they do is lap it up. Yes, doggy. Yes, you got no money. You got no money. Yes. Man United fans. My backside, Man United fans. They're Ineos bootlickers. That's what they are. Ornstein said United will be the most busiest club in the transfer market. What? Busy at being not busy. That's what it is. You know what they're busy at? Manipulating the fan base. Look, guys, they could turn this around. They could flip this around, right? They could flip this around, right? And they could make this all good. They better, because I care about the football club. There are some fans out there, right, who are deemed elitist fans that think they're better than everyone else, i.e., Mitten, and they, you know, and they go out there and they try to manipulate you and gaslight you into thinking certain things. And this is what I've been calling out for a long time. You know what I mean? We heard it, Kenny. How long, Kenny? Kenny, how long we hearing this bullshit, man? I've known you now for 2.5 years, 3 years, right? How long we been calling that bullshit? How long it's been happening? And before we knew each other, 10 years before that, it's been going on. You know, the same crap, the same thing every day. What are you talking about? No one is signing anyone until Wednesday at the earliest. What? The window's open, Greg. You can agree, deals. You can agree. Everyone is signing everyone. Munoz has gone to Liverpool. You know, don't give me, Gregory, don't give me that Glazonomic bull crap, all right? Don't give me that Glazonomic. We're not going to sign anyone. Nobody's signing anyone till Wednesday. Do not give me that rubbish. Do not give me that rubbish. We were here last season. You know, nobody. Tottenham are getting into business right now. Liverpool have already done business. You know, we ain't even signed a player yet. It's maybe. Yeah, you know, he's going to come on July the 3rd after the World Cup. Maybe. He hasn't signed on a baby yet. As things stands, what do you think of the top 6 side looks like? To be honest, Saeed, I don't care. Honestly, bro, I don't care. Because I think Man United should be challenging for the league. We're too big a club to be challenging for the league. We're too big a club, you know, to be challenging for the league. Yes, Gregory. Welcome to the stream, Gregory. Mate, Gregory, listen to the stream. We know, but this is a manipulation, my friend. A manipulation. Listen to the stream. Listen to Kenny. Listen to everyone. It's a manipulation. That's what they say, the new fiscal year. That doesn't mean they can't do deals verbally and in principle. Like the Edison one. Verbally, in principle. It's done. But nothing's done officially. Listen. Listen. I'm not here to repeat myself, man. Lucas. It's clearly fixed 0-0 draw. No one needs to win, even at the result. It's guaranteed nil. Lucas, Paraguay 0, Australia 0. Paraguay are 4th place in the best 3rd place team, right? So they can just about go. What if we're? They are basically through, right? They could be taking a risk. I mean, every team's not played yet. This is the thing. I think Spurs and Chelsea could leapfrog us with 1 game a week. Exactly, Saeed. Yeah. This is why we needed a generational window. You know? Let's see what happens in July. If we don't get 7, 8 players in the door, then I'm going to be calling out all those people and saying, wait till July. 1, 2, 3, 4 players is not enough. Right? If we go into July, we've lost Rashford, Sancho, Ugarte, Casemiro. We're losing these players already. Bayern Onana gone. We need a backup goalkeeper as well. Let's not forget that. You know, we're losing all those players. Let's see how many players we get. Let's see how long it takes. It took us a month without competition to get in Bremo. A month. Right? Like last summer. So let's see what they do. You know, I'm not hearing any of this bull crap. You know, these indirect Glazer Glinios supporters. And it's not the new football year, Gregory. It's the new financial year, by the way. That's what it is. Not the new football year. The financial year. For everybody. For sure, we won't get more than 5, including the backup keeper. We're not going to get nowhere near that, mate. And then, the thing is, right, I want to go into the Champions League to compete. I don't want to go to the Champions League to make up the numbers. Do you know what I mean? I want to go to the Champions League to compete, Zaid. I don't want to be embarrassed. Good morning, Lisa. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I don't want to go there to be embarrassed. But also, I don't want people. Yeah, exactly. So why are you saying that, we ain't going to do business until July 1st? So, we know the business of winter opens, but you can still do deals now. Is the thing. You can still have a deal in principle and a verbal agreement. Zayed, so they're selling VTech and buying there, loaning Nanana and bringing in Darlow. Probably something like that, Zayed. Maybe. Bayender's going back to Turkey, I think. Anana, we're not going to sell him. No one's going to pay the money for him. Probably loan, yeah. VTech's going out. VTech's sold. He's going to be sold. He's going to VTech's going. VTech wants first team football. VTech could have been the second choice goalkeeper. He's done very well at Bristol City. Was player of the year, goalkeeper of the year, and could have been a good second choice for us. But obviously, he doesn't want to be playing second fiddle to Senny Le Mans. So there you go. So in regards to, I think we'll sell buying there for a couple of million to Trabzonspor. It's awful. Zaid, look, I'll be honest with you, Zaid, my friend. I'm not too bothered about, the backup goalkeeper, even though we should have a decent one. I'm not bothered about the backup goalkeeper as much. I'm bothered about the first team. I'm bothered about the first team, and that's why I am. The team that's going to go out in the Champions League, right? I'm bothered about that. The team is going to play Real Madrid and Barcelona and PSG, that team there, And obviously you have to be concerned. And these puppies, these little dogs on a string that, claim to be elitist Man United fans are the ones that are causing the problem. They're part of the problem. And I'll say that. They'll be mad to sign him, Problem is, we purchased Onana for 50 million. That was the problem. And what they will see is that if we sell Onana for 10 million or 5 million, they're going to see it as a loss because we're a business. And that's what they're going to see it as, a financial loss. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? Is Mainu and Fernandez pivot good, defensively good enough? Because no. Might be, but we need that marquee signing, Ziad. Like you said, we need a Chouamini. We need someone like that. We needed an Anderson who's gone to Man City. We needed that guy there who's been there, seen it, done it. Chouamini would be absolutely generational signing for Man United, by the way. Chouamini would be an amazing signing for Man United. If we got Chouamini and Fernandez right now, Chouamini, Fernandez, Mainu, and Edison. Two players for each position. The two midfielders, 2-2. So 4 altogether. So we have 2 and 2. That's what you need. So you can rotate and you can use any sort of combination that you want, right? That helps, right? If we have 1 and 1, it's not going to help, is it? Right? Because at the end of the day, Man United right now need to sign minimum of 2 more midfielders, right? Edison's trust me, bruv. Right? Edison's trust me, bruv. That's what Edison is right now. And we'll have to wait and see. Do you know what I mean? Big up everyone, though. Big up everyone in the stream. Thank you, guys. Lots of passion, lots of talk. That's how we do it on Stretford Post. Of course, both midfielders, left back, right back, and a centre back. Starters are necessary before you are messing around with backups at every position. Yes. So far, we haven't got a proper left back. Dorgu's going to move into the midfield. He'll move into the attacking side. We only got Luke Shaw again. Luke Shaw should have retired ages ago, right? From Man United. And then we're going to think about the right back. We got no real good right back. Dalot's rubbish, right? Rubbish, right? He's proven to be over the years. We got right back. Mazraoui can play right back, but he's more of a deep lying right back. He's a full back that doesn't go forward. So he'll be a defensive right back. So Man United need an attacking right back who can contribute into the final third. Then you look at it and you think, well, Man United have De Ligt and Licha, who have very, very potent injury records, right? Now, either Man United are left with Aiden Heaven, Lenny Yoro, and Harry Maguire, or we sign one more defender. So let's say we need another defender in there, right? We need another defender in there, definitely. 2 players for each position. Let's not forget that, right? 2 in the centre back, 2 in the left back, 2 in the right back. At the moment, we ain't even got one decent one, right? Then we go to the midfield, right? Then you need 4. So we've got 2 in the midfield. We play a 4-2-3-1. We need a 2 in the midfield. We need 2 on Mainu's side and 2 on the number 6 side. So we need 4 altogether, right? Then you look at the left midfield. Cunha's not a left midfielder. He plays there. He does okay, but he's not a left midfielder. He plays more inside, right? Then you've got the right midfielder. Armad is questionable, but Mbeumo's going to come good, I think, next season. We can probably get away with the right-hand side. Then we look at the number 10. We've only got Bruno, but maybe we can use Cunha there. Maybe, right? But then you look at the striker. We've only got Sesko. Proper striker, I mean, like a number 9. Do you know what I mean? They target sections. They target sections in us last year. Attack the year midfield next year will be defense. That's how it looks always. Yeah, not finishing the job, mate. And this is the thing, though, Zaid. When we do things that slowly, other teams get better because other teams finish their jobs. They get more players. Liverpool improve, City improve, Chelsea improve, Arsenal improve, and we go back. We don't go forward. We go back because we leave it to the next summer, the next summer, the next summer. It's not good enough. Luke Shaw, it will never survive 2 games a week without injury. Exactly, Gregory. It's what I'm talking about. They're not going to survive 2 games a week. First window, actually, it was all about defense. De Ligt, Yoro, Mazraoui, Dorgu in January. That's a whole back 4. First window, we signed Dorgu this January, didn't we? This last summer. We didn't sign them all at once. Did we? Did we sign Mazraoui, Yoro, and Dorgu all in once? No, we didn't. Mazraoui and De Ligt came from Eric Ten Hag times. Dorgu came in Amorim times. Yeah, De Ligt and Mazraoui came in Ten Hag. Dorgu, and Mazraoui came in Ten Hag times. That was actually, I think, before Ineos. Dorgu was Ineos. Yeah, I think. But that's it. And what did they do since then? Yeah, he came under Amorim. Yeah, but they bought 2 injury-prone players and a youngster. That's it, you know? And what else? Where's the right back? Where's the left back? Where's the right back? Where's the left back? Where was the right back and the left back for Amorim's system? Where was it? Ahmad isn't good enough, and should be replaced with different. But yeah. If I speak, I'll be in trouble. I kind of agree. I don't think he's good enough, but we'd have to wait and see next season, isn't it? At the end of the day, Mazraoui and De Ligt at Bayern Munich are very injury prone. We signed them because Bayern were desperate to get rid of them because obviously they were injury prone. And Bayern Munich fans came on this channel and said, like, you know what, you're buying an injury prone player, stuff like that, you know. And well, De Ligt has proven them right. Mazraoui, no, he has had a couple of injuries, but he's all right. However, we still ain't got the right wing back. We still ain't got the left wing back. We still ain't got full backs who can go forward. We still ain't got the midfield sorted out. How long has it been since we got the midfield sorted out? You know? How long? I mean, Zaid, the winger position I'm not too concerned about. We got Dorgu who can play left wing. That's all right. We got Ahmad and Bremer. Okay, we live with that. Right? We'll live with that. Okay, but we need fullbacks. Yeah? We need fullbacks. Because without the fullbacks, those wingers that we've got are not going to thrive. No matter what winger you bring in, they're not going to thrive without fullbacks. Because the fullbacks create the overlapping runs, you know, which creates spaces for the wingers. Right? That's what happens. We ain't got fullbacks who can do overlapping runs. And this has been a while now, you know? And then you have to think about, you know, the midfield. What's going on with the midfield? We ain't got enough in midfield. There's nothing there. Midfield is the engine. We got nothing. Think about the striker. We ain't got a backup striker. This is why we needed a full sale. Exactly the reason we needed a full sale. They go for, then that's a mistake. Because Dorgu could play left wing. I'd rather a left back than a left winger. Right now. Because I think Dorgu could play there. Cunha can play there. We got JJ Gabriel coming through. We got obviously players coming through. Shea Lacey coming through. We've got players who can play on both sides, right? I'll go after left back and right back before anything else. Charts are Paraguay wide. Still Turkey 2, USA 2, guys. 0-0 between Paraguay and Australia. One of those would be good side. One of those would be, I would accept. Truffert or Lewis Hall would be fantastic. But will they get them? Like I said, I'm here to be proven wrong. We had a 4 out of 10 window last summer. Let's talk about last summer, shall we? The 4 out of 10 window. Here come Australia. Chance. Straight at the goalkeeper. I'm not here to be gaslighted into anything. I mean, what we need and what we're getting at the moment is just really bad. You know, what they're doing. What they're doing at this football club is pathetic. Last year was a poor window, Saeed. It was a poor window. No midfielders, no fullbacks. Last minute goalkeeper signing, it was a poor window. 4 out of 10. Everyone admits it. Last season was a poor window. Absolute poor window. It was a disgraceful window. It was a poor window. Don't be gaslighted into thinking that was a good window, mate. That was a poor window. We fixed the attack. Yeah, but that's it. You know, that was a poor window. They didn't get the fullback or the midfielder. That's poor. Might as well bring out Carrot. He'll do a good job, to be honest with you. You buy 4 players, right? You buy Cunha, Mbumo, Sesko, and Lamans. Where's the midfield? Where's the fullbacks? Man United need a proper window, a generational window. You're absolutely right, Boomer. Man United need a proper window. It was a poor window, you know, an absolute poor window. It's a disgraceful window. Don't be gaslighted to thinking that was good enough, because it wasn't. We spent nothing of their own money, you know. It was a poor window. And I will congratulate when they do well, but they missed out so much. Yeah, it's, you know, at the end of the day, we'll see this window, won't we? At the end of the day. So if we get 4 players in, the starters all here, would they? No, Zaid. No, it's not enough. It's not enough, mate. Because you're looking at Casemiro. We lost Casemiro, right? Casemiro's our talisman. He's our main midfielder. We've lost him. Alone, we need 2 midfield signings, right? Then you're going to think about, are we going to rely on Sesko the whole year? The whole year, Champions League and Premier League. Are we going to rely on him? Are we going to rely on De Ligt, Licha Martinez, Maguire, Shaw to play the whole season? Then you have to think about that. Are we going to rely on that? Then you have to say, oh, then again, we haven't got no real good right back, have we? Are we going to rely on Dalot all season? Listen, let me tell you something, Saeed, from a guy who's been around the club for 40 bloody years, right? They need about 6 or 7 players in. Let's think about this, right? We ain't even got like, they need about 6. At the bare minimum, they need 5 proper players. 5, right? You need 2 players for each position. At the moment, we only got 1. So there you go. Last summer was last summer was rubbish, half finished job. It was exactly. It was. It was a half finished job, exactly. You know, no right back, no left back, no midfielders. Goalkeeper came in last minute. We lost the game against Arsenal because we got the goalkeeper in last minute. We dropped points. Good morning, Hives. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. You've been watching from Dominica. Big up yourself. I'm sick and tired of this club. Why they do? I know, Hives. I know, Mason, Mr. Mason, Miss Mason. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You know, I really appreciate it. So when you're looking at it, Zaid, we need a left back. We need a right back. There need to be first team right backs and left back. That's 2 already. You need 2 midfielders, right? So let's say Tchouaméni and Fernandes, which we're not going to get, right? So that's a concern already, right? We need 1 first team defender, probably, because our first team defenders are injury prone. Lenny Yoro and Aiden Heaven are young. So we need 1, right? And maybe a Costello Luqueba, something like that. There's 1 there. Is Ahmad good enough? But we're not only talking about first team because you need a backup squad as well. You need a backup as well. So I'm not going to say Ahmed and that. Then you say the striker. Is Sesko a first team striker every single day? We need a first team striker as well. Someone who can come in there and be the first team as well. You know what I mean? A midfield, McTominay, Pogba, Bruno, and Fred back in 2012 under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the last time we had the kind of midfield you were talking about, Sal. I don't know what you're on about, Gregory. It doesn't make any sense. That was a poor midfield. Pogba didn't work out for whatever reason, but it's better. It's a better midfield than we got now. Much better, yeah. We've only got Manu at the moment and Ugarte. So you would say, I'm talking about a proper midfield, mate, that we haven't bought in years. I'm worried outside. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about the centre back. I'll be honest. I'm worried because Maguire is not fit. He's starting to get injured now. De Ligt has been out. God knows what's wrong with De Ligt. Licha, we know Licha. Then obviously we're going to be relying on Aiden Heaven and Lenny Yoro. And you have to ask yourself, is it good enough? Are we going to bring through Kukunki? Are we going to bring through Frederick Shot? Just wide. Fredrickson. We need at least 6 minutes. Yeah. Six proper players. Yeah, at least. At least. And then you're not even thinking about Hilver. You're not even thinking about the goalkeeper. Are you? You know? I think Maguire Martinez will be our starting duo. It's not good enough. Worrying because they are injury prone. And they're slow. You can't exactly that Zaid, you know. They can't play the high line with them. They're slow. We're just going to be in this repetitive cycle of the same thing happening over and over and over and over again. Do you know what I mean? Over and over again. Repetitiveness, you know? Repetitive cycle. What they're going to do, right? They're going to sign a backup goalkeeper. They'll sign maybe 2 good players, right? And they'll probably sign another backup striker or something like that. And then they'll say they've done their job. That's what they'll say, you know? That's what they'll say. Pogba, Fred, will piss on this midfield right now. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And do you know what I mean? And that's saying something. And Bruno was younger then as well. Bruno's now 31, 32. You know? Unbelievable. Bruno still plays for Man United, by the way. You know, so Sorry, guys. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Sorry, guys. This stream has been good discussions. Yeah, it's good discussions on it. Always, it's a real discussion. That's what it's all about. It's a real discussion. That's what we're like here. We have good discussions, and it's great to have everyone. No, we have every right to be concerned, guys. Obviously, proof is in the pudding. Still 0-0 Paraguay and Australia. We have every right to be concerned. Every right to be concerned about this football club. You know, I would say. The midfielders we had in the past were crap. Yeah, we haven't bought a proper midfielder since the days of Michael Carrick. The last real midfielder we had was Michael Carrick. Casemiro's. I mean, I'm talking about a player in his prime. Casemiro was way past his prime. He was on his latter years and things like that. We're almost full time, guys. We're almost full time. We ain't even linked to centre back. Yeah, we ain't started, mate. Let's wait. Look, one thing I'll say, Zayed, we will sign players, right? I'm going to say this right now. We will sign players, but it's how many players we sign, which is the question. Are we going to sign enough? Because we didn't last season. And let's not forget, right? Let's not forget, Amarim was their guy. They knew Amarim played wing backs, right? They knew Amarim played wing backs. They knew it was a big part of his system. They didn't buy wing backs. Midfielders part of the system. They didn't buy midfielders. You know? Still 2-2 between Turkey and the USA. It's a problem. It's a big problem, man. It really is. That's what I would say. You know, and yeah, it's an issue. Big up everyone on the stream, just waiting for the games to finish. As we stand, Paraguay will be third. Australia will qualify. Goodness me, Australia qualified. Can you believe it? That's how poor this thing is. Australia are awful. Australia are bloody boring and awful. And they've qualified. My biggest concern, Zaid, because I care about Michael Carrick, right? My biggest concern is this. Carrick won't be given the tools to do the job properly, bro. And then he's going to be fired. That's my biggest fear, right? And everyone will start blaming Carrick. Everyone's going to turn against Carrick, you know, and people forget about the balls in that window. That's what they'll do. 0-0 so far, guys. We got literally, it's almost over, guys. The game is almost over here. Literally 30 seconds to go. We're waiting for the game to finish. Just waiting for the game to finish, guys. Paraguay 0, Australia 0. I mean, this seems like a setup. ESPN and other media after Portugal 5-0 World Cup fixtures benefit bigger teams suddenly. Yeah, suddenly. Until you no, I'm not going to take this World Cup serious until the last 32, last 16. That's when I'm going to start saying sitting up and taking note, because then you get the team. Thank you so much. Full time, guys. Paraguay 0, Australia 0. Australia go down through to the last 32, guys, and Paraguay will be third place, currently in the best third place position. I don't know if that's official, but let me just share this with you guys in regards to what that does for the actual tournament. So in regards to the best third place position, here we are. Let me just do this. Guys, let me reset this. So if we can get this. So this group here finishes USA top with 7 points. Australia second with 4 points. Paraguay third with 4 points. Turkey with 1 point. Guys, and then you look at the best third place team as we stand. Paraguay will be in fourth place on the best third place finishes. They look like they're going to go through to the next round of the 32. However, there are a number of clubs still to negotiate everything, so that needs to be official. I don't know if that's official yet. Guys, absolutely. There will be some teams that are going to be on 6 points or 5 points and 6 points. So there could be. So you never know. So I don't think anything is official yet. That's not the official group, but that's how much it looks like on the third place position. So there, guys, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Zaid, Carrick, their perfect man, legend of the club. He won't have the run Amram had. That's the only reason that they sacked Amram. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Amram was right to call out the ownership, but he will get sacked if he doesn't get results. That's the thing. And the reason he won't get results is basically down to squad and depth. You know, Paraguay dipping form has been sub-studied. I miss Ander Herrera, midfielder from Spain, who always played for Manchester United badge. Gregory, you know when you say I miss Herrera, midfielder from Spain, you do know I've been in football. I know a lot more about football than you, Gregory. Come on, man. You don't need to say midfielder from Spain. He wasn't good. He was a passion merchant. He was all right. That's about it. Turkey 2, Zaire 2. Turkey 3. Turkey 3. USA 2. Wow, they've scored. What does that do for the group? I'm going to add this again to you. What does that do? Let's have a look. Guys, now Turkey have won 3 points. So will they be? If they win this game, will they be? Is that over yet, that game? It's full time in that game. So Turkey, as we stand, have 3 points. But are they? No, they're not third, though, so they can't qualify. So, unfortunately for Turkey, they can't qualify because they ain't got 4 points. Sorry, guys. They ain't got 4 points. Unfortunately for them. Fortunately for them. Gregory, you're very slow, mate. You're very slow, mate. I've already said it. Guys, other than that, listen, you know what I mean? Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I really appreciate you. I'm back for Breaking Dawn later on, guys. I'm back for Breaking Dawn later on. It's finished Turkey 3, USA 2, and it's finished 0-0 between Paraguay. But Turkey are out, unfortunately. It's not enough. They need at least 1 more point. They're not going to get that. Obviously, the games are over. I'll see you a bit later on for Breaking Dawn, guys. Keep your notifications on and stuff like that. Have a good day, guys. See you soon. Peace.